How to break up with someone you live with. You know who should who should. Jesus Christ, what the happened there? Too many hits to the head there. The people who need this information are all these morons you see on these murder shows. The amount of people that I watch on these murder shows that my wife thankfully has taken a break from. She goes through phases where she's just like mainlining Dateline NBC. And we end up, I don't know, it's so up because we're watching murder shows, but we end up getting a lot of laughs in that I just tease her for like, why are you watching this? I just start mocking how horrible they are. And then I just start singing, go to sleep, go to sleep. Like, why would you watch this right before you go to bed? But one of the things I've noticed is the amount of people, the first major crime they try to commit is not only murder somebody, but it's somebody they know. That is the hardest thing in the world to get away with unless you work for the government. No. It's the hardest thing to get away with because you're automatically a suspect. You'd never been busted for anything, so you're not like some hardened criminal that knows how to handle interrogation to be like, am I being charged with anything? If I am, I want a lawyer. If not, I'm going to leave. I'm pleading the fifth. They don't do that. They go out and they always bury them in like their backyard. There always seems to be like I got to tell you something right now. If your neighbor is putting in a well, he's thinking about killing his wife. All right? If the guy's wife says, you catch her in the pet store and she has a weird look on her face and says, yeah, we got a rodent problem. Yeah, she's trying to kill her husband. All right, the smart ones go to Home Depot and they buy a plate, a pane of glass. That's what you do, and you bash it up microscopically and you just start putting it in their food. I think that's how it's done. I don't know. I know guys are supposed to be more evil, but at least if you get killed by a guy, it's over quickly. Like women, I swear to God, Jesus Christ, it takes them like 8 months to slowly kill you. There's a lot of women in prison that could write a book called The 8-Month Murder. It's hilarious. It almost takes them this is an 80s joke. It takes them almost the same amount to have an orgasm as it does to kill somebody. Thank you. Reaganomics, everybody. Anyway, I actually believe if you're a progressive school, they should have a class, a requirement that teaches young people how to break up with people, teaches people how to know when a relationship isn't working, and there would be less broken hearts. There'd be less murders. I would think the Dateline NBC lobby would do everything they could in Washington to stop these courses from being taught to kids in college. And you know what they would do? They would just, all you got to do is to kill it. All you got to do is label it as socialism or communism, and it's going to be this socialist agenda, then that'll be it. It'll be over. But, the amount of time that you waste and the people you hurt and all that type of stuff. So, there becomes that thing. I remember a long time ago, I knew this woman, and she was dating this guy, and she was living with him, and she would always go like, yeah, can't leave now. She just kept saying that. And it did register to me when I was younger. And then they got a car together, and they ended up breaking up. And the whole time she wanted out, and she just kept getting in deeper and deeper and deeper. It probably affected her sleep, crushed that guy because he probably thought he met the one and all that. And all you need is just some information like this, all right? Because there's a lot of people listening right now who want to get out of a relationship. All right, I'm going to read what they say, and then I'll give you my tricks to the trade. Okay, because when you're like a young guy, right? Like your first, like those guys that are just like, I'm just going to act like a dick so she breaks up with me. Stupid. Rip the Band-Aid off. Rent a tuxedo. You get a top hat, right? You learn an Al Jolson song, but you change the lyrics and you just sing about how you're going to break up with her. I'm sorry. I wish I knew an Al Jolson song. How to break up with someone you live with. Here we go. Hey, Billy Red Rocks. I was almost going to call it that special. My wife was like, don't name it after your nuts. And I was like, you're right. Loved your recent special, and it's also a more obvious joke, especially when my listeners are coming up with it too. All right. Loved your recent special and all that jazz. Thank you. Let's get right to it. I have been with my girlfriend for 3 years now, but have decided that it's time to end things amicably. All right, good for you. The only issue is that we live together. Can you give me and listeners some advice on how to break up with someone whom you live with? Thanks a bunch. All right. This is definitely, there's a degree of difficulty here. All right, I'm standing up now. I'm walking around. All right. Let's go with the positives. You're not with the person that you want to be with, and you're aware of it. And you're going to do this. All right? And there's no way to do this without making a mess. So let's try to make the least amount of mess. Okay? So the number one thing is you're going to break up with her, and you still have to live with her. Now, ideally, you already have another place to go. Okay? Now, there are extreme ways of doing. You can do it this way. Okay, I'm kind of doing the cowardly way because you don't want to fucking deal with her. You don't want to deal with her. You want to get the fuck out. Let's just be a man here. You want to get the fuck. Hell hath no fury, and you want to be away from the fury. So if there's a way that you can somehow put a deposit down on another apartment, unless she's totally dependent on you. I don't know what your financial situation is, but I know a guy. Oh, I know a guy. This is how he did it. His wife went out on his girlfriend went out on the road, and he already planned to do it, but he knew that she was nuts. So he already had another place. She left, and the second the wheels left fucking LaGuardia or wherever the fuck they were, his brother came over. They packed up all his shit. They moved it to the new fucking place, and then they sat down. Then when she came back, he sat down. And she's like, where's all your stuff? And he's like, where I'm going to be living from now on because we're not going out anymore. Now, that's the fast way to do it. Listen, you moved in. On some level, you're going to have to be like, there's no easy way around this. So if you're not in that type of financial position, which most people aren't, the biggest thing, all you have to do is break up with her. All right? You don't have to, just stop catastrophizing about how awful it's going to be because it's going to suck. All right? So what I would do is know that she's going to be upset. She has a right to be upset. And just don't get in any arguments with her. And let her say everything she's going to say. You know, if she trashes your family, she makes fun of your dick size or your ability in bed and all the shit that when a woman gets mad, you know, God knows. I mean, it's all, they can, no subject is off limits. They will try to rip your fucking soul out. She might not be. She might be cool. I have no idea. But I'm just saying, prepare for the worst. Here's the deal. Every time when she comes at you and she says that, just think in your head, imagine if I married that. Thank God I'm not marrying that. She is saying all this horrible shit to me right now because this is her last chance to do it. And then you're going to get the fuck out of there and it's going to be good. All right? And I don't know what your living situation is. If it's a one bedroom, that's good because at least you can sleep on the couch. You won't have to sleep next to her. If it's a studio, I mean, I don't know. This is what I would say. If she's making your life a living fucking hell, I would literally call your parents and just say, listen, I need 2 weeks to find a place. I got to get out of here. And I would take a sick day. And when she's at work, I would just take all of your shit. Okay? Anything even remotely questionable. Hey, I paid for half of that couch. Fuck it. Leave it. Just take all of your shit, pack it up, and just get the fuck out. That's what I would do. Why prolong it? All right? So I need more information. If listeners have been in that situation, I fortunately was never in that situation. So I can't speak from experience, but I do know of guys where they were living there and then the girlfriend immediately started bringing other guys home. You know, have you ever been that guy? You know, you come home, you think, you know, with the chick, you think you're hooking up and you realize you're just spiteful cock for the evening. And the whole time you're like, is there a lock on this door? Is that door bulletproof? Like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Why don't you get all the way out of your last relationship? I'm out, guys. Like, that's what you wish you had the maturity to do. You know, but as I've said in my other specials, your dick is a dreamer. Your dick believes, nah, man, we can do it. We can pull this off. It's not going to be a problem. He broke up with her. He doesn't care. Shitty neighbors. Shitty neighbors. Oh, jeez. Hey, Billy Big Screen, I'm reaching out to you as someone who has a bit of a neighbor problem and have a landlord problem. So a young couple moved into the apartment complex. Let me read that again. I'm reaching out to you as someone who's had a bit of a neighbor problem and a landlord problem. Oh, brother. Your landlord's not helping you with your neighbor, or they're both assholes in their own worlds? Oh, boy. Here we go. So a young couple moved into the apartment complex that my wife and I have lived at for 6 years, and they have a bit of a shitbox car collecting problem. Our lot has enough spots for 2 cars per room, 8 rooms in the complex, so that means there's 16 spots. Don't worry, Bill. I'm coming to you for advice. The least I can do is not make you do math. It's kind of scary how well you guys know me at this point. Anyways, it even says in the lease that you can only have 2, but the property has undergone new management, and the newbies aren't nearly as hands-on with the towing cars for being run-down pieces of shit. They had 3, and one of them was broken down for 3 months before I put a note on there asking if they can move it or fix it, to which they replied by putting 3 sheets of paper with red writing on them on the inside of their windshield. They read, "We live here, the car runs, mind your own business." Yes. The ignorant. Part of being ignorant is you have no empathy, which leads to anywhere from being an asshole to joining a hate group. Now I have walked past this car with these sheets of paper on the windshield for over 2 months and even asked the maintenance guy to help me out citing the lease. He basically told me that because of the toothless nature of the owners, his hands are tied. Now, as I'm writing to you, I found out this evening that these people went out and got a nice car and parked it in the lot also. I thought of a lot of things, including putting painter's tape on the hood in the shape of a dick with a note on it that says, "Next time it'll be spray paint. Move the fucking car." Oh, God. Oh, God. Now you live in that world? But I just can't do it. Yeah, don't do it. Do I find my zen and just deal with walking past all these fucking cars every morning with my tail between my legs? Or do I confront these people and hope for results? I'm not a confrontational person. Yeah, that's why you were going to, fuck with their car. That's what a non-confrontational person does. Dude, if you're not going to go over there and just beat the shit out of it, which you shouldn't do because you're either going to lose or you're going to get sued. Or you could lose and get sued. There's no winning. If you're a fully functioning adult, and you actually have done something with your life, you fighting is not an option past high school. I'm not a confrontational person unless you have to, okay? But due to some events that have happened in my life over the past year, I'm worried that I'll start to see red if they don't agree with my request and say some stuff that I can't take back and will make seeing them in the future a bit awkward. Thanks for the help, Bill, and good job on the movie. I can't wait to see it. The way I see it, you got 3 options here. You just deal with it, you move, or save up money and buy a house. Those are your options. But if the landlord isn't going to do anything, I can tell you this. When you move out and the next people look at your place and they see 20 junkers or whatever sitting out there, that's going to fuck with their world. I guess you could also lawyer up and deal with that and just say it says here in the lease I have to deal with this. As long as the cars aren't in your way, there's another thing. You could actually talk to him and just say, listen, I'm sorry. I was in a bad mood. I actually like the car, and just talk to him about cars and shit like that. And maybe you can just make friends with the person. But or you can use it as motivation to get the fuck out of there and get something else going where people like that aren't in your life. But then what happens is you end up buying a house. If you buy a house, what I would suggest is do a number of drive-bys. Like if you look at it during the week or on a weekend, sometimes like they strategically show the house when whatever loud, annoying thing that might be happening isn't happening in like the neighborhood or whatever. And, I mean, I would be as bold. I wouldn't be as bold. I wish I was to knock on the door of a neighbor and just be like, hey, how do you like the neighborhood? Is there anybody here that's just is the person on the other side a major pain in the ass? Blah, 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 blah. No. For all you know, you knock on the door, the pain in the ass. Yeah, I'm sorry you're going through that, dude. That's the fucking worst. But I guess there's another thing. If the car runs, you could steal it. But everybody has cameras now. That's another reason. Yeah, don't get involved. Like, revenge is that's one of the darkest of all human emotions. And that's just not, even when somebody deserves it, I just avoid it. I avoid it. I just like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to keep living my life, keep being successful at what I want to do, whatever the fuck that is. And I'll leave it alone. I looked at those goddamn Vistalite drums, and now Ludwig is always popping up. And they really have beautiful drums. And I wish they would stop it because I'm going to buy a kit if they don't stop. The exact thing that they want. I mean, look at this one. What the fuck is that? They got a green Vista. You can't buy the amber Vistalite. I don't like how the amber one is the only. Every one of the one has like a 22. The amber one is 26. Where the fuck are the 24s, you cunts? All right, seeking wisdom from an old ginger. It was still a great story, by the way. Keep those aviation ones coming in. Dear Bill Burr, I am a 23-year-old male who feels lost and directionless for my future. Hey, buddy, welcome to the party. You are not alone. Most people at 23, myself included. That's exactly where I felt. Probably the most lost because I was after college and I was just like, what did I major in? What the fuck am I doing? Anyway, I am currently working full-time and finishing my master's program part-time. However, for the longest time, I've felt a strong desire to pack up everything and move to a new area. I'm from upstate New York and have lived in the same zip code my whole life. I'm not sure where my desire to move came from. It has always been something I wanted to do. I don't want to ignore this feeling because I know I would look back and regret it if I never tried. Right now, my plan is to finish school, save what I can, and move to a different state once I graduate. However, I have recently told a couple of friends and my siblings this ideas, and they all took a shit on it. Yeah, well, that's what people do. That's something that you're going to learn a lot. Like, hey, you know what I want to do? And especially if you tell it to somebody who's not doing anything, they're going to shit on it. Take a big fucking shit right on it. My friends have told me it doesn't seem like a good idea because I won't know anyone. Yeah, these are all fearful thoughts of people who are afraid to go anywhere. I have no family anywhere else and will be abandoning them. I have no real reason to move, but I've always wanted to live on my own in a new area while I still have the freedom to do so. This sounds like a great idea to me. I don't have anyone older than me to get an outside opinion on this, so I thought I would email an old bald dude for some advice. Well, you come to the right place. I would appreciate any advice or guidance on this situation. I think that's fucking great. And if that's what you feel like you want to do, you should do it. And there's a way to do both. Why don't you take a trip somewhere? You can literally get on a fucking train and pretty much go anywhere. And, bring like a backpack. You can go real cheap. I don't know where you live. Where's the nearest big city? Do a little research of some things you want to go to. Here's one. If you're a sports fan, if you live outside Chicago, go to a White Sox or a Cubs game. Live outside New York, just take the train. Go to a game by yourself. Who gives a fuck? Go get a sandwich. Hail a cab. Just, go down there and just see how it feels. And I would kind of go from there. Traveling is an unbelievable thing to do for you as a human being. It opens up your mind. And I think it makes you a better person if your ears are open when you go there. I mean, if you travel like most New Yorkers do, like New York, people who live in New York City are the worst fucking travelers I've ever met in my life, because they get upset everywhere they go that there aren't as many buildings and they can't get this exact same food that they have where they live, which is fucking hilarious, because the whole purpose of traveling is different experiences. To experience something different. They're like, how come you ain't got a fucking slice of pizza, dude, in my fucking neighborhood? They're the worst. They're like country people that live in the city. Exact same mentality as somebody who lives in is somebody who lives in the middle. I'm not saying you're an idiot if you stay where you're at. It's if you shit on somebody else because they want to leave. Well, let me just talk to this kid here. When somebody shits on your idea, you just have to know that what they're saying has nothing to do with you. It has to do with what you're doing makes them feel. So right there, you just cancel all of that. All right? Let me ask you this. If somebody you knew said, hey, you know what? I always wanted to start a band, or I always wanted to do this, or I always wanted to go here, would you shit on it? If the answer is no, then you're a good guy and you should get some better fucking friends. You don't need to get better friends. I remember a long time ago, Tom Papa, the great Tom Papa, once told me, he said, I realized in life, whenever I was making a big move, people's reaction to it had nothing to do with what I was doing. It had to do with them and where they were, and if they felt stuck. You leaving makes them kind of feel like left behind, I think, or something. But who gives a fuck? All right? I say you do it. And I would start, as you're getting through your master's degree, which I relate to that because, I had to work my way through college and then pay off the loans and do all of that shit. So it took me forever to get through college. I didn't finish all my classes until I was 24 and a half. And then I walked when I was 25. But I was out in December of 92, and then I just went through the formality in June. So you're ahead of the game when it comes to that shit. But, you're still really, really, really young. And a great way to find where you want to go is to take a couple of small trips, and check it out. And you could end up being like, what, maybe I'll just stay where I'm at and I'll travel more. Or you could be like, what, there's just something about this city that I connect with. For as much as I shit on New York City, I really connected with that city. And then somewhere in the 2000s, I connected more with LA. And now I keep having a reoccurring fantasy of living in the middle of nowhere, sitting on a porch, drinking coffee, smoking cigars, reading a newspaper, and having a little bit of whiskey, and just not doing anything. And but I have kids, so I'm locked down. So you're 23, you got your whole life ahead of you. This is one of the best times in your life. They're all great times in your life if you know how to live, though. If you are enjoying them, if a four-wheeler doesn't backfire in your fucking ear. But you know what? My ear's kind of gone down. Hopefully I didn't fuck it up. Whatever. Just something you deal with, right? Anyway, that's it, everybody. Enjoy the podcast. Don't listen to your friends if they shit on your dreams, all right? That's it. Go fuck yourselves, and I'll talk to you on Thursday. Hey, Bill, this is entitled Afraid to Break Up with Girlfriend. I'm going to read slow so this takes up as much time as possible. Hey, Bill. I'd like to get your advice on something. I've been dating my girlfriend for almost a year now, and I've been thinking about breaking up with her. Well, it's time to break up with her, sir. All right? Been dating her for a year, If you're thinking about breaking it, it's time. Okay? He says, we get along fine, and we rarely argue. I was just thinking of a great way to break up with someone. They should invent like a breakup suit, right? Just something where you just cannot get injured, and you just put the thing on with the fucking helmet. You don't wear the helmet. You just put the onesie zip up on, and which totally protects everything, right? And then you get in the passenger seat, and you let her drive. Now, why are you going to let me drive? Well, you just drive tonight. But you always like to drive. Honey, you just drive. Okay, why are you wearing that suit? It's all going to make sense in about 5 miles. Right? You get out on the fucking highway. You just start talking to her. And out of nowhere, you just put the helmet on. And she says, what are you doing? And just say, listen, I don't want to go out with you anymore. And then she goes, what? And you go, hey, watch this. And you just open the door and you roll out of the fucking car. That's it. You're out. Type up a fake police report. You tell them that you died. Then she feels bad for you. You don't have to deal with any sort of repercussions. Anyways, he says, we get along fine and we rarely argue. But I'm starting to realize I don't really want to be with her for the long haul. When we started dating, this fucking thing. These iPads suck, by the way. All right? You know what an iPad is? It's a fucking laptop for pussies. What's the matter? Your laptop is too heavy? You fucking douchebag? This thing doesn't have a keyboard? It's got nothing. You think that they don't know how to make this thing into a fucking laptop already? Of course they do. This is the Steve Jobs way of doing things. Rather than just giving you the whole fucking thing, he's going to give it to you in increments like a goddamn drug dealer. That's why I haven't bought one of these yet. This is Nia's, by the way. I borrowed this fucking thing. And I am not enjoying it, as you can tell, as I'm throwing a temper tantrum here. When I'm going to buy a fucking iPad, I'm going to buy it when it is a laptop, when it is a little light laptop. Until then, I'm not having this fucking. This is like when you go, I really want to get the new Camaro, and then you get the one with the V6 engine rather than getting the full out one with the stick shift, which is a laptop, right? It's too heavy. Fucking do shoulders at the gym next time you do that, okay? Maybe do that. Maybe do some stuff to build up your wrists. Oh, God, Bill, can you get through the question? All right, I will. He says, when we first started dating, I loved hanging out with her, but I'm just not into her anymore. Does that make me an asshole? No, it doesn't. Why would your own true feelings make you an asshole, sir? How awful were your parents? He says, I'm 23 years old with a somewhat... Why am I... I'm really being a cunt this week. This guy's asking for my advice. Let's try to bring the anger down, Bill. You're frustrated. It's fucking hot in here. You can't open the window because you say cunt too much. This building's a co-op and they'll kick you out. Okay? That's what's going on here. It has nothing to do with this person. Okay? So why don't you just try to be a nice guy? That's what I should have done off the mic like I'm scolding myself. Just try to be a nice guy. Let's not take out your bad day on everyone else. Okay? You're embarrassing me. All right. I'm 23 years old with somewhat of a decent job and really just want to go back to being single for a while. Exactly, dude. You're 23 years old. Dude, you're a fucking movie star at that age. I don't care what you're doing for a living. You should definitely be single. He said the problem is she's got a lot of stress in her life right now. Not your problem. She's finishing nursing school and trying to find a job. All right, we'll tell her to put on the outfit, bang her one more time, and, hey, watch this. You bail out of the car. Oh, that's mean. Anyways, he says, and she has a history of depression. Over the past year, I feel like she's becoming emotionally dependent on me, like I'm keeping her going or something. Well, Jesus Christ, no wonder you want to get rid of her. You don't want this. You want someone that's going to be fun to be around. You don't want her, it's sunny out and she's acting like it's raining out. With her fucking head under the pillow. One of these days, you stay with that long enough, one of these days you're just going to he's going to smother her with that pillow. So anyways, so how do I go about breaking up with her while causing the least amount of damage? He said, also, she always leaves some of her shit in my apartment. Yes, because she wants to fucking... Oh, yeah, she's clinging on to you. He says clothes, blanket, other random shit. I try to get her to take her shit home with her, but how do I avoid after breakup coming over to get my stuff? I hate that. Anyway, go fuck yourself. All right. Look, there's no easy way to break up with somebody. All right? There's just easier ways. The sooner the better. I know, dude. This is like dismantling a bomb. See, what you would like to do is say, hey, can you come by today? I want to talk to you about something, right? And sure, I'll be right over. And then immediately just take out a box, put all of her shit in it, tape it up, and then she rings the bell. Bing, bong. You open the door. You go, yeah, don't want to date you anymore. And you just hand her the box and close the door, right? Dude, there's money to be made in this, man. Does anybody have a professional breakup service. That's such a pussy thing to do, but that would be phenomenal. You know, you make your person feel like they got fired. You know, like when a corporation fires you and just two security people show up, you know, confiscate your computer and then escort you out of the building. Wouldn't that be great? Dude, that's what you should do. Just hire two of your friends to dress up like security guards. Tell her you want to break up, you know, and then they have all their shit in the box. And then they escort her right out of your apartment building like she got fired. It'll come off as professional rather than like personal. How do you go about breaking up with her? You know what I would do? I wouldn't put all her shit in the box because that's going to come off cold, you know, and you don't want to hurt her feelings like that. So I would just, oh, fuck it. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Why did I drink last night? And then I got up and did Opie and Anthony. What the fuck is wrong with me? I knew I had a podcast to do. You're embarrassing me. I don't fucking know. Just have her come over and just say, listen, I'm not happy. Oh, that's a great one. That's a classic. You know, like if you were a singer-songwriter, the second you said that, the whole crowd would start applauding, recognizing the big hit. You know? Of all the girls I knew before, you know, they all start fucking clapping. You know, if they just came out, you just did classic breakup monologues. Listen, I'm just not happy. Everyone, just that smattering of applause. You wait for it to die down. Let the orchestra come around again. You jump back in on the one. Man, just tell you not happy. I'm not happy anymore. And dude, let me tell you something. Her being depressed is not your fucking problem. All right? Her being depressed is the fucking problem. How can you do this to me? What do you mean, how can I do this to you? You know what would be worse if I fucking stayed with you and I didn't love you? I don't love you anymore. I don't love you, depressed whore. I just called you a whore as a generic term. You know, I'm not happy. I want out. Okay? I just feel like I want to be single right now. I just don't feel like I'm going to be with you in the long haul. We'll just be wasting each other's time. My time is important, and so is yours. All right? I don't want to go anymore. But I'll tell you what. If you go to Stamps.com, they'll give you $55 free stamps and a scale. That's what you do. Just tag every mean thing you say with all the advertising. You know, if you go to Amazon.com through Bill Burr's website, you know, click on the little Amazon banner. Whatever you buy, you know, portion of that money goes back to Bill Burr, and then the percentage of that goes to the Wounded Warriors Project. So I know I'm breaking up with you right now, but we could also support the troops. Right? Sir, look, there's no fucking easy way to do this, and you're going to be sitting there. How many more holidays? How many more birthdays? How many more Christmases, which is a holiday? Sorry, you always need 3 examples. Do you want to go through with this person? How many more times do you want to go out and rent bikes, go to a picnic, sit there on a sunny day as she's sitting there with that cloud over her fucking head? You know? Dude, you know, don't do that to yourself. The amount of fucking people who are just wonderful human beings and they just end up with assholes. I swear to God, assholes, they look for wonderful human beings because other assholes are not going to put up with them. You know? So you need to be an asshole here. You know, the how society looks as an asshole, like you're being selfish. You're not being selfish. All right? Choose yourself. Choose your own fucking life. Dump her and get on with your life. You know? This is what you do. You get yourself like 6 of fucking pale ale or whatever beer you like. You stick a couple of glasses in the fucking freezer. All right? Like anticipation of this championship that you know you're going to win. You know? Like they did in the Red Sox dugout when they had the champagne on ice in Game 6 in 1986 before they had to quickly wheel it out. Okay? Except you're not going to let this one go through your legs, sir. You're kicking this one right in the cunt. And you're taking home the fucking championship. And when it's over, all you got to be just thinking about those frosty fucking brews in the fridge. Just think about that. Just look at the clock when she walks in. All right? Let's say she comes in at 10 past 2. Just say to yourself, worst case scenario, by 3 fucking 30, I'm going to be sitting down on this fucking couch. All right? With my goddamn phone off, drinking a couple of 5 or 6 of these things. And then that's it. All right? And then don't fucking have post-breakup sex Don't do that, because then she'll think that you're back together again. Fuck all of that. All right, well, I got to come by and get my stuff. Okay. When do you want to come by? This is coming off really cold. She's going to do all of that and just try to keep dragging you back into the fucking thing. I don't know if this is a punk thing to do, but after you break up with her, just don't answer the phone when she calls. And then she'll finally just say, listen, I gotta come by and get my stuff. Can you text her back? Fuck it, just be a man. What is she going to do? Body slam you? She's just going to make you feel bad. All right? Oh, why'd you break up with me? Is it because I don't blow you enough? No, it's because you're a mopey. You're sucking the life out of me. You know, and when you get that sad look on your face, you look like a Muppet. There, I said it. All right? There's your shit over there in the corner. I got a couple of cool ones in the fridge, so why don't you do me a favor, all right? Get over there, bend down, lift with your knees, get your shit, and get the fuck out of here. What do you say there, Toots? Your Prince Charming is out there somewhere. You know? It ain't here. I'm not riding that horse anymore, okay? I just shot it in the back of the head. It's over. Okay, so why don't you trudge on out of here there, fucking Cinderella? Go look in a mirror, go climb up in a tower and fucking drop your hair out, whatever the fuck you're supposed to do. Kiss a frog. All right, I got drinking to do. But beat it. Something like that. Like I said, all that bullshit I said, 10 past 2, it's over by 3:30. By 3:30, you're boozing. Money advice. Bill, I'm an OTR truck driver. What the fuck is that? Off track betting? What is that? OT? I don't know what that is. All right, I'll take your word for it. I'm an OTR truck driver and have a problem with blowing fucking money like a politician. I have a wonderful fiancée with a great head on her shoulders, and she is great with money. Every time I see the bank statements, the balance is more and more, so I know she's doing a bang-up job with our finances. Well, let me tell you something, sir. You are one perceptive son of a bitch. Keep seeing the number bigger, and I know that must be a good thing. So what's the fucking problem, you say? Well, like I said, I'm terrible with money, so I got one of them prepaid debit cards. He literally wrote one of them. I like this guy. He talks like Elvis. And every Tuesday, payday, my girl puts $50 on there so I can get groceries. That way I don't turn into one of these fat shits that eats every meal out of the Wendy's. Out of the Wendy's. Oh, God, this guy's great. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what they say can't be done. We're gonna get some hookers at the next truck stop. We ain't gonna wear condoms and shoot some drugs. And we'll all get fucking AIDS and pass it all around. Well, $50 is good for 1 week of groceries, but it's like pulling fucking teeth for extra money. Like, say, for drinks or some rubbers. No, like for drinks or some extracurriculars. Am I an asshole for thinking I deserve a few extra bucks, or what the fuck, Bill? By the way, Nia has a sexy fucking voice, and go fuck yourself. Are you an asshole for thinking you deserve a few extra bucks? Absolutely. The fact that poor woman is legally bound to you and you have no concept of how to hold on to money. That would be like, I mean, you're a guy. Like, you're supposed to fucking earn a living to support a family, right? If you have no concept of that, that would be like if she had no concept of like how to have a baby or how to blow somebody. You know what I mean? Because that's what their job is, sucking dick and making babies. Such an idiot. Oh, God. Imagine if I had the balls to run for president after doing this podcast for 5 years. How easy would it be to take me down? Dude, why don't you learn about money? Do you really just want to float around like with your fucking eyes wide open, just not getting it? Don't you want to understand money? She's giving you $50 a week. You know why? Because you're too fucking stupid to get 60. And I'm sure you can crawl under a truck and modify it. I'm not saying you're straight across the board dumb, But not to understand money is, I swear to God, dude, is one of the dumbest things that you, honestly, and this is for everybody, it's one of the dumbest things you could ever do in life. Is, I understand not understanding money up to about 18, 19, but once you're to the point where you can go to a library, where you can go on the internet and you can just read up on it. Okay? If you don't understand money, you're going to be behind the 8 ball for your entire fucking life. And you're basically going to be an indentured servant to credit card companies and banks. And your life is going to suck way more than it needs to. Okay? I'm not saying that just because you understand money, one of your kidneys isn't going to shit the bed. Bad shit's already going to happen. You don't need to compound it with not understanding money. All right? This woman is the best thing that ever fucking happened to you. You don't understand money, and you want money for drinks and some extracurriculars. What does that mean, an 8 ball? If you're starting with drinks, and then you say, I like how, say for drinks or some extracurriculars, like boozing to you isn't even an extracurricular activity. That's just, that's like nourishment for you. So I'm assuming that extracurriculars is at least a bag of weed or maybe some condoms to bang some truck stop whore. Listen, sir, you got a great fucking woman, but she's only going to put up with you not understanding money for so long, because at some point she's going to want a goddamn man. Okay? Especially once you have a couple of kids. She doesn't need you being some adult kid. So I would say read up on money, and you'd understand what a favor she's doing for you. If your bank balance is going up, you're doing better than 90% of the people out there. All right? So here's a good thing. You got a fucking angel, and she's smart. And just read up on money. All right? She's also keeping you in shape. Go buy groceries. Don't become a tub of shit. She's basically, without you even realizing or possibly even her, she's laying down the gauntlet here. She's basically saying in her own cute way, I don't want to be married to some fat, broke trucker. All right? So read up on money. Keep eating your fucking pears and fruit out there. Sexting, all right. This isn't really, well, this is about this guy. Remember I told you that story about that dude. He worked for some corporation, Sea Cubicles, all right? And I'm sure he's on some sort of team. Right. And everybody has to do some sort of song before they go in there, like those poor kids who work at
morale-building exercises.
Yeah, those people who work at the Cold Stone Creamery. Uh-huh. You ever see them with making like the goddamn ice cream going, hi-ho, hi-ho. Yeah. It's off to work. I just, that like a part of me dies. When I see that, when I just see people like, it's like basically watching someone work in like an ice cream death camp when I'm in there. None of them are happy. None of them dreamed of doing that.
Ice cream death camp.
Maybe if you're like a fatty, when you got a job at an ice cream store, kind of like a pedophile getting a job at like a Cub Scout camp.
Wow.
Isn't that where they always end up? I love working with kids. I said that last week. Follow your dreams unless you're a pedophile.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So then using that, I shouldn't say that I have a problem with fatties working in the ice cream store. Let's get to this shit. So anyways, so they're going to get everybody in shape. So they hire some sort of personal trainer, and he's training everybody. Mm-hmm. All right? And what he does is he gets everybody's emails.
Right.
Great move on this guy's part. Mm-hmm. Fucking great move. Now he doesn't have to deal with them face to face. And if there's any fucking hotties he wants to bang, he can take it to the next level.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
It's okay.
Shooting fish in a fucking barrel. Okay. Or fishing barrels in a shooting gallery. So, anyways, so all of a sudden this guy notices that he gets one text going, hey, Brad, just do a couple more jumping jacks and you should be fine. But for some reason, his little hottie wife has to get like 40 fucking texts from this guy at like 11:30 at night.
I do remember this.
Yeah.
So he and his wife work at the same place, obviously.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Work at the same place, right? So he fucking, he finds out about, he keeps asking his wife.
I remember this. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to recap for people who didn't listen last week. All right. So he keeps he keeps catching his wife late at night texting, and he goes, who are you texting? And she would immediately slam the phone shut because she's got a flip phone, evidently, and would say, nobody, either would say nobody or would get mad and say nobody.
Right.
So this guy's not a moron. He figures out something's up.
Sure.
He's into some sort of fucking Spygate shit where he's at. He hacks into her thing, gets her password, and sees that all these text messages back and forth to trainer. So what does he do? He's a goddamn man. Does he slap his fucking wife around? No. He goes right to the trainer and says, "Hey,"
slaps him around
and says, "Hey, sport." No, because you get sued. You get sued for that now. You get sued for kicking somebody's ass when you're right.
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey, sport, why don't you do me a favor and stop texting my fucking wife in all hours of the night?" So then Sporto there immediately starts acting like a bitch around him, starts acting overly nice, like, what all guilty people do.
Right,
If he was innocent, he would have got mad.
Sure.
Be like, "Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? I always text people about how to make their core stronger at 2 a.m. I'm dedicated. Maybe you should be inspired by what I'm doing. I specifically am interested in women having a strong core because they're so beaten down in society." He would have come back with some shit like that, but he didn't. Now he's all like, "Hey, man, how are you?" With this
Right.
whole, "Please don't beat the shit out of me
Right.
and expose me for being the dirtbag I am so I lose this giant money-making client here," right? Yeah. So anyways, she denies the whole fucking thing. So he sent a couple of texts that this girl wrote. They were talking about the Beatles, and he writes, "All those damn Beatles songs make my stomach hurt when I listen to them because it reminds me of getting ready to go see you. They give me anxiety." This is what the trainer is writing to this guy's wife. Now, what sort of exercise are they talking about there? Is that what is that? Is that push-ups? So then she writes back, "All the lonely people, where do they all belong?"
Oh, God.
Right? And then he said, "I remember you asking me if I related that song to you because I thought you were lonely." He's talking about her fucking marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy. This guy's a dirtbag.
It's the classic.
I love him.
It's the
I
classic.
love him.
It's the classic. He listens to me.
Yeah. Oh, this guy, he's just
He
saying
listens
everything.
to me. We talk about music,
Yeah.
my feelings.
Oh, yeah.
My husband doesn't do that.
Right. And what it
He
is
ignores
his
me.
dick is downloading all the knowledge in this guy's brain that he has about human beings, and he's just giving her, and the dick is just is basically sitting in the Captain Kirk chair. He's just fucking anything she wants to hear. So anyways,
Sure.
Then he write another one. He said, "I know, fuck my life. I wear my fuck my life to sleep, and I have a confession to make. I also wear your panties." She goes, "LOL, shut up." He writes, "It's true." So, I don't know what kind of fucking shit this guy's into, but the real question is not whether or not that's socially acceptable. The real question is, how did he get this married woman's panties? He at least finger blasted her. Would you go with me on that?
Maybe he's just saying that to be just like controversial. Or
That's what I
something.
thought.
Like
But
to
she
be-
goes, "LOL, shut up." He goes, "It's true."
Yeah, but he just still may be joking.
Were you talking to the
around.
mic?
Oh, he may just still be joking around. But if he
It's
is wearing,
true.
but if he is, she gave it to him. How else would he have him? And they're
I know.
talking
All
about
right,
the
all right.
Beatles and
Whatever,
shit. She
whatever.
gave it to him. If it's
Okay.
true.
Okay, so that's basically what I'm saying. So
Okay.
he's got her fucking panties. They're both adults. I'm guessing by this she's like in her 30s. What is he doing? Fingering her and taking her out for a malt? He's banging her. He fucking banged her. This fucking piece of shit. Who'd be a great movie kid. This is a great character for a fucking movie. So anyways, he said, and this is what he said. His wife, she's still denying this whole conversation ever happened. She's just in complete, obviously, denial. She's in denial. He said, "I'm dumping her, not for the reminiscing talk, but for but for lying to me."
He's not interested in trying to.
Please say that, Nia, and I swear to God, I'm going to throw my computer at you. I will throw this fucking computer at you. Are you fucking... He's not interested in what?
I don't know. Working it out. Don't throw it at me.
No. Go ahead. I'm just going to leave you in dead silence. Go ahead. Tell me...
No. I don't know. No, he's well within his right. I was just posing a question. That's all.
Well within his right.
I don't understand why it doesn't just fess up then.
All right,
Like, if she
that's a
wants
whole
to be
nother
with this other
topic.
guy.
That's a whole nother topic. I mean,
I just feel like no. You know what it is?
the
I
move
feel like
here?
something's. I just
What is
feel
the
like,
move here
I
other
feel like
than
a part of the
walking
story
away?
is missing. No, I feel like part of the story is missing or something.
What, the video of them fucking? Is that what's missing? What else
No,
is
I
missing?
guess if he's like, hey,
Nita, if you start blaming him for not paying attention and that's why she's
I'm
fucking
not.
this
No,
guy,
no,
I
no,
will
no,
I will
no,
fucking throw you out of this room. All right.
No, I'm not. Calm down. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying. So he says to her, "Are you cheating on? Are you fucking this guy?" And she's like, "No, shut up. What are you talking about?" Like, and she just flat out deny. I don't understand how she can flat out deny something as hardcore.
Because she's a piece of
text.
shit.
That's why I'm saying.
Because she's a lying
what
piece
is
of
going
shit.
on?
Nia.
Yeah, but if you have something and you're like looking at it, like this is what you wrote, how are you denying it?
Because that's what denial is. You're totally in denial. I don't have a drinking problem. Is you fucking drinking NyQuil? I think it tastes good. I don't have a problem.
Right. Yeah.
I
guess so.
like sleeping. You know?
Yeah.
You know what it is? I'm just making sure you keep speaking to the mic. This is what you keep doing. I want people to hear what you have to say.
Oh, okay. All right.
But this is good shit.
And I'm ruining it?
No, you're saying it off mic. Good fucking Lord. You know what kills me? Is you was still, like, it's just, I don't know. I'm gonna piss you off right now. You ladies will defend, because you guys defend each other, like right there.
I'm not defending
if a guy
her.
did that.
I'm not defending her.
Well, can I get out what I'm gonna say? If a guy did that shit, you'd be like, dump his ass. Girl, he's a fucking loser. You can do better than that. Call me. We'll eat a little moon pie. I'll build you up. That's what the fuck you would have done. But because, I just feel like some part of the story is missing. Like, what is missing?
I guess nothing.
Thank you, Nia. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Yeah. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah,
you just wanted me to come on and agree with you?
A good fucking 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Not agree with me. Agree with the decision this guy made. This isn't about me, Nia. Please. Okay? I'm just a messenger here.
Sure.
You know? I'm just trying to do what's right out here.
Because it's very clear what's happening, and you got someone who's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, here's the deal. Man or woman, if the person you're with is texting past, I would even, for regular people who aren't in show business.
The booty hour starts after 11, I would say.
After 11?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's with somebody you're already fucking. Okay? I know you don't understand it because you don't have to talk yourself into it. Guys, we have to spin the plates from the second we meet her all the way through. So you got to be setting it up.
Okay, I've always
7:30 is too creepy and stalkerish. And I would say you start going past 9:30, she's gonna feel like she's some sort of tramp. If you haven't fucked her yet, right? So there's that window. About 8:15 to about 9:07. You have to do the setup text, okay? And the setup text is not talking about pussy. It's I'm watching blah 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 on TV. So and so is so ridiculous. Some sort of fucking just to get it going. You know what I mean?
Right. Something that seems very benign.
Yeah, like a boxer. You feel him out in the first round.
Or the Beatles.
Yeah, you don't load it up, right? You're feeling it up. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Right.
This fucking guy. This guy. You know something? As much of a piece of shit as that guy is, if he writes a book, I would read it in a second.
Why?
Because he's got great. I mean, the position he has. That's like when I used to take that yoga class when I was out here. And there was that guy out in Santa Monica, and he was a phenomenal fucking teacher.
Right.
And this place was jam-packed, and it was by donation only. So then for tax purposes, I think he falls under a church. I know it helped him with taxes, and it's all in cash. So it's all good. All right? And then the hottest fucking women, some of the hottest women ever move out to L.A. to become actresses. Okay?
Yeah.
He's got him in his class, getting them all stretched out before he bangs them. It was one of the greatest. It was fucking airtight.
Yeah.
And he would go around the class, and somehow me, having never touched my toes since I was in the womb, was somehow always doing every position correctly, yet all these other hotties always needed to be adjusted.
Yeah.
Right around the psoas. So I don't get mad at a guy who's got a good thing, but you stay away from the fucking married. All right, Bill, I need some advice, Bill. Going for it. Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Going for it. This is some guy from the 80s. He's going to go for it. That was one of the worst fucking expressions ever in the 80s. Do you remember that? And it bottomed out in that Rocky movie, in Rocky 3. Or maybe that started it all. when Clubber Lang got in his face, is like, "I'm gonna bust you up," and then Rocky's like, "Go for it." And that was supposed to be like this big moment. Like, he's not scared anymore. Go for it. Did everybody in that part of the 80s, everybody in the early to mid 80s, more like the early 80s, in all those fucking movies, everybody dressed like they were on their way to an aerobics class. In fact, I think Sylvester Stallone, didn't he have on leg warmers during part of his workouts in those movies? I can't remember. Dear Bill, since I was 12 years old, I've been playing blues music professionally around the Colorado and Front Range area. What the fuck is the Front Range area? Is that Wyoming? Bum-ba-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da. I've made good money. What kind of gigs did you get in the Front Range area? Every year I play blues music on Hitler's birthday for this Aryan group / meth lab in fucking Casper, Wyoming. I've made good money and lots of friends on the way. This year I even made it to the finals at the International Blues Challenge. Needless to say, I've been blessed so far in life. Yeah, and you must be a fucking beast if you can do that. He says, not bad for a 16-year-old. Go fuck yourself. You know, that's awesome for a 16-year-old. Jesus Christ. I wasn't doing shit. The only I was doing was flunking every class in high school. And I had my driver's license. I got my driver's license the second I turned 16. The second I was eligible. And I took it on I actually took I had the balls to take it with a stick shift. It was a 78 Chevette 4-speed. And the only reason why I say I had the balls, every car in my family, we always had stick shifts. I don't know why. You know, it was funny. We had manual transmission, but there wasn't a sports car to be found. Anyways, here's my problem. Ever since I was 8 years old and saw Reservoir Dogs, I wanted to write and direct movies. Now, this isn't a choice between my two passions. I do plan on doing both for the rest of my life, but with the screenplay competition, I have little hope for. Why do you have little hope in a screenplay competition? They have shit like that, don't they? Or are you saying you're not good at it? I don't know, Bill. Why don't you read the rest of it and you'll figure it out. A screenplay competition I have little hope for. Oh, I see. No, those do exist, dude. I don't know where they are, but they do exist. I remember Matt Damon and Ben Affleck had that Project Greenlight. There's always people doing stuff like that. I can't say always, but there is shit like that. Anyways, a dad that's recovering from a car accident. Sorry to hear that. And a mom working to keep our family in a home. I have no idea how to start making my first feature film. Now you're probably thinking, you're 16. No, I'm not. I'm thinking you're ahead of the game. This is good. But I have no money for the high school I go to anymore. And being in the blues world for so long, I know that tomorrow I will wake up and be 43, wondering if I accomplished everything I wanted to. Being a 16-year-old blues musician who's most likely isn't going to get a high school diploma and wants to make movies. Jesus Christ, dude. First thing I'll tell you is you gotta put a little sunshine in your thoughts there, youngster. Stop listening to that fucking blues music. It's making you just depressed. Why don't you listen to a little hair metal? It's happy. Anyways, I'm pretty lost. It's scary because I'm at that place where the things you do now affect your future. Any advice on how to keep positive as I try and become a filmmaker would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, and sorry for writing so fucking much. Yeah, dude, first of all, you're acting like you're 86 and not 16, all right? You're 16. You're way ahead of the fucking game, all right? When I was 14, I was going to go to Notre Dame and become a lawyer. By the time I was 16, I was thinking, well, maybe I'll learn a trade, all right? That's how quickly I fucking, went off the rails. Now there's a bunch of people in trades. So what, I'm a moron if I can't make a lamp? No, you're a fucking genius because you can make a lamp. Or however the fuck that went. This is how you learn to make movies, dude? You just go ahead and you fucking make one. All right? This is the deal. You don't have any fucking money, all right? So you can make enough money like just playing music with a goddamn bucket in front of you in downtown Denver. Save up and get an iPhone if you don't already have one. All right? You got an iPhone, you can fucking shoot some video. Then upload it on and just, do it for nothing. Upload it on a computer or a friend's computer or whoever you're making the movie with. That's the way to learn how to do shit. That's the advice I'll give you. You just go out and you do shit. And then every time you think a negative thought that's saying, I can't do this, you have to fucking mentally beat the shit out of that thought. And you have to really become conscious as to what your brain is telling you. Because you seem like you're very early on, so I don't think it's going to be that deep of a groove. But your brain is like catastrophizing. Okay? Everything you're thinking of doing, somehow it ends with you slamming into a brick wall. All right? And if you think that way, you become paralyzed and you can't step forward. But your heart wants to step forward, but you can't because your brain keeps fucking showing you that brick wall. So what's then going to happen is your fucking heart is going to be waking you up in the middle of the night, thinking thoughts like, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?" And then you're going to start drinking, and it's going to be or whatever the fuck, something bad. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Then you're going to become miserable, and then you're going to see somebody young one day who isn't in their way, and you're actually going to try to discourage them, which is going to make you feel like a piece of shit. So the biggest thing I would work on is you just have to you have to be conscious of when your brain's telling you can't do something. You're 16 fucking years old, okay? You got your whole world, the whole fucking life in front of you, and you can start making a movie tomorrow. And this is the great thing, dude. Just give yourself the permission to suck. It's your first one. It's supposed to suck. All right? I had no idea how to do stand-up. I just signed up for an open mic, and I went on fucking stage, and I hung on for dear life. And you know what? I sucked, and I sucked for a while. But every time I sucked a little bit less, and that's how you got to do it. And I had all that negative shit going on in my head. And I bought those fucking books on how to think positive, which was hilarious with my negative mind. It's just as I'm reading it, wanting to absorb it, I'm also ripping it apart, saying this is bullshit. But I don't know. Unless you're like clinically depressed, just negative thought is just a habit you can get out of. And that's kind of what I found. And you just have to be conscious of it. And, it's really just a choice. You just think a negative thought. And you're like, all right, there's a negative thought. Step back, look at it, and be like, oh, do I want to fucking, tie myself to that thing and have it pull me all the way down to the ground? Or am I going to say, you know what, fuck that thought and think something positive? No, I'm going to make a movie. What I would do if I was you is I would just be thinking about guys like Tarantino or Spike Lee or Kevin Smith, any of these guys who just were like, fuck it, I'm going to make a movie. And they just went out and did it. And next thing you know, that they had a career. If those guys can do it, you can do it. That's just focus on them. That's what I do. Fuck it. I'm a balding redhead in this fucking business who has the nerve to try to go and audition for movies every week. Where the fuck do I get off doing that? Who wants to see that on screen? But what do I think of? People still want to see Ed Harris. They don't care. So fuck it. I'm going to look at Ed Harris. I'm not going to fucking be focusing on all these washboard middle, full head of fucking hair, run for president looking fucking jaws. Like, I'd kill myself. Jesus Christ, now I'm starting to depress me. That's what I would do. You want to make a movie, you go fucking make a movie. That's what I would do. I don't know why you feel like you're not going to finish high school. You could do that. You can do it. There's got to be a way that you can get a high school diploma. What if you have to transfer? You got to fucking transfer to a new school that's cheaper. So what? You come in, all of a sudden you're the new guy. Hey, who the fuck is this guy, right? You come in like fucking Clint Eastwood. All of a sudden you're getting blown by some chick because she thinks you're mysterious because you have a different area code. It can happen. Just, I was going to say buy a trench coat, but that's probably not good to do in Colorado, is it? Oh, that was a bad one. Sorry. You know what I mean? Just, you got to think positive, all right? If you keep thinking negative, that shit's going to happen. If you think positive and you do the work, that's the critical part, you'll be fine. And thus ends my little self-help after school special here, all right? All right, don't write to me. Don't keep thinking that shit. I want to hear from you in 6 months going, hey, I actually made the movie. It didn't come out that bad. You're going to learn a bunch of shit, you know? Believe me. And that's the kind of thing also that never ends. I'm still learning shit. Every time I go and tape a special, there's always something, fuck, you know? The first time when I did Why Do I Do This, it was the first time I was ever the guy calling the shots, and I forgot to tell them that I needed a clock. I just assumed that it was going to be there. And I went out, and there was no clock. There was no way to tell how long. I didn't know what time I went out. And ended up being a little bit of a clusterfuck at the end of it. So then the next time I did a special, I had a fucking clock. You know? And, I just did another special. I learned something on that. And I was like, what the fuck? When am I going to have this thing down? There's always going to be obstacles. It's just basically how it is. Banging my roommate.
I'm reading
The Fallout. As read.
By the lovely Nia.
Make sure you don't block the microphone down the bottom.
Okay. I'm 22 years old in my last semester of university, and I live with one girl who happens to be hot. I found myself in this situation by only needing a 4-month term sublease to finish my final semester. A friend of mine who was moving out of state to complete her nursing placement offered to sublet her room to me at a very reasonable price for the quality of apartment. I accepted without knowing or meeting my soon-to-be roommate. The hot roommate was briefed on me and was okay with living with a guy. Fast forward 2 weeks into living together, we're banging on the couch. Wow, that escalated quickly. Oh, there's somebody at the door.
All right.
I'll keep reading.
Okay.
We're banging on the couch. From this moment to about mid-October, I was untouchable. Insert picture of Muhammad Ali after a knockout. It was around that mid-October point where she decided to stop hooking up with me because she started talking to another guy from her hometown, 7 hours away. Where I have a problem is not with heartbreak or heart feelings. Oh, come on now. It's more with the level of resentment on her side. She's gotten really cold, standoffish, and passive-aggressive with me. It's to a point where she goes to her room when I get home. We don't really talk anymore. What have I done and how do I fix it? I'm not sure I see a future with her, but she's cool and I'd rather not have her hate me. She's a pretty laid-back person, and her mom constantly bugs her about getting a real job. She's a waitress. At the beginning of November, that is a real job. At the beginning of November, I got a job at a consulting firm, which I worked really hard to get. She didn't care in the slightest. While we were hooking up, she also told me constantly about the other guy she was talking to. Oh, baby. We agreed to be open, but I found it a bit much. Looking for a game plan here. Longtime fan of the show. Thanks and go fuck yourself.
So what happened? They start banging.
Ooh, child.
Somebody caught feelings. What happened?
He caught feelings. Even though he said where I have a problem is not with heartbreak or hurt feelings. Yeah, she basically banged him because she was trying to get over some guy. While we were hooking up, she also constantly told me about the other guy she was talking to. Right. So this was a between guys bang. You know, it's kind of like a buffer, like because you're in between a rebound, or you're kind of wishing to be with somebody else. So you end up banging somebody who's really into you and is giving you a lot of compliments, and the dick is right next door because you're roommates, so that's super easy. You ain't gotta like get up and get all dressed up. It's like you'll just take it because you think I'm the best. And you got used, you got played. How
did he get used? He got to bang a hot chick.
But he doesn't. But you didn't did you not hear the rest of it? Like,
no, I answered the door. You don't remember?
Oh, right. No, he's upset because she just dropped him like a hot potato, and she's being really cold to him and is not really talking to him.
Dude, that's the shit.
She used
That's
you.
the fucking shit.
It's over.
That's
done.
fucking great. And this is the thing, dude. Just who gives a fuck?
I know.
You got to bang this hot chick, and then she acted the way a guy usually acts, which is the best. We just walk away from it. Women are all like, can I have one of your T-shirts, right? She just walked away. Get on with your fucking life.
Exactly. It's done.
Yeah, get on with your fucking life. Who gives a fuck?
You're 22 years old, so perhaps you haven't heard the saying, don't shit where you eat. Don't ever start fucking your roommate. Because when it goes bad or when it's over, very rarely can you just exist and it's not awkward.
Exactly. That's why it's fucking awesome, because now she's just totally blowing him off. They live together, and then it's like perfect. So I would just sit down and just say, hey, listen, I realize we're not hooking up anymore, which is totally cool, but like you barely even talk to me. Like I don't have any fucking hard feelings over it. So like,
yeah,
you know, you want some Fruit Loops?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe
just try to
like kind of call her out on being immature about the situation. It's like, you don't gotta treat me like shit now just because we're not fucking. Because that's listen, I was sort of teasing you before, but it's not cool that she's just rude to you now that she's had your way with you and she's done with your dick and she's so free.
Dude, she's like the greatest roommate ever. All she wanted to do was fuck you for a while, and then she left. What is the problem? She's on my Mount Rushmore of fucking roommates.
I mean, the fact that you got to bang her is pretty, because you could have easily gotten friend zoned. She's sitting here constantly talking about other guys that she's seeing. You could have gotten friend zoned. So, at least you got laid.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Silver lining.
The glass is not half full. The glass is full. Mm-hmm. And your balls are empty there.